Today we go somewhere super special on a painting mission. And we're painting with one of the biggest spray cans known to graffiti. It stands almost twice as tall as a normal spray can. It's 750 milliliters of amped up high pressure spray paint. We're talking about the Dang Master Blaster spray cans released by BombingScience.com. We're doing some light bombing at an almost entirely unknown graffiti spot known simply as Hell. Hell has changed over the years. It's called Hell because it's not all that friendly there. There you have it, welcome to Hell. It does definitely have a very dingy, almost creepy feel to it for most people. You're dealing with a lot of hazards of the job. If you paint there, you're actually gonna see one of those hazards when we start painting a piece. But yeah, you're dealing with broken glass everywhere, nails, rusted jagged metal, random objects. I remember the first time I painted there, someone had grouped a bunch of mattresses together and ran barbed wire around 4 of the pillars down there. I had always heard rumors that it was like a hobo fighting ring thing that happened there, but I don't know if I believe that. Honestly, I think it's not such a bad place. I've always found it ironic that they call it Hell, because it's actually a very peaceful place to paint. If it's rained recently, you can hear the water dripping from the stalactites. I've painted a few pieces there. Some are holding up better than others. Alright, so I cleaned the area up a little bit, so we're going to use some very high contrast colors here. That's the plan anyway. Part of that is because in this area, graffiti is still relatively unheard of, so your pieces are going to get scribbled on and all that nonsense, even more so than in other areas. But that's graffiti, right? You can never get into graffiti with the expectation that any of your art is going to be permanent. And that's probably actually one of the best definitions of graffiti. Graffiti, in most of its forms, is art like any other art form, but it's not permanent like every other art form. Well, let's get painting here. So the first thing we're doing here with the Master Blasters, even before we see how many tags we can get out of one of these cans, is seeing how wide they spray. And how wide they spray actually depends on the amount of pressurization that is left in the can, and the spread will lower as you use more of the can up naturally. And you can see the first lines are about 2 feet away from the wall, and we're seeing about 1.5 can lengths, which translates to almost 20 inches. The second thing Bombing Science specifically said I should pay attention to is the throw distance. They told me they packed more paint in each dang can and more pressure, so it should throw further than other blaster can brands, and I have to say it did exactly that. You can see our spray here from well over a meter away from the wall, and you're getting close to 30 inches of spray. And because of that, you have the option to spray way above your height or through those chain link fences on surfaces behind them, etc. So as we tag up some names of patrons and channel members in our members crew, we're seeing exactly how many tags a dang Master Blaster can will get us. One of the biggest drawbacks of the flame booster cans that I found when we did our full review of them was the 500 milliliter size can just doesn't really fit with what the can is for. So I really like that the team down at Bombing Science decided, hey, these need to be 750 milliliters. That to me shows they know exactly what they're making this paint for. And they're doing exactly what they told me they try to do with the dang brand when I interviewed them before reviewing the dang flex mobs. We want to make great graffiti supplies for graffiti artists at an affordable price. Just in case you don't know, the dang Master Blasters have a male valve and come with a wide chisel tip blaster cap. And when all is said and done there, with that black can, we did 3 massive tags, but we also did the spray test with it, so I would say you can get probably 4 tags out of one of these cans. But when I say 4 tags, I mean at least 3 feet tall for all of them, so that was great to see. So before I give you guys my final yes or no on these spray cans, we're actually going to start a quick piece here, and it's because I want to do a bit of myth busting about these booster cans. People think that these booster cans don't have good coverage because they run out so fast, but we're actually going to do most of the fill-in of this little freestyle piece with the Master Blasters, and there you'll see just how much surface area you can actually get out of one of these cans. That's the only reason we're being unorthodox here. This is not what these cans are supposed to be used for. I'm well aware of that, but like I said, this shows exactly how much coverage you can get from one of these cans, in white no less, and on a grilled background. So guys, there is what I think might be a hornet's nest in the wall that I have started to paint. But I haven't seen any more fly out of that little hole. It's just there are 3 just all sitting there. So I obviously hit them with the Master Blaster, as one does. So we're gonna try and keep doing this initial outline, and hopefully I survive. And quite honestly, the coverage you're getting here is phenomenal. You're not seeing anything through from the background. Now this stuff comes in white, black, and silver, the classic bomber setup, and something I've never seen from any other big paint brands. It's advertised as having an alkyd base. Now sometimes an alkyd base is referred to as an oil base, but they're actually 2 different things, just to be clear. And just so everyone knows, alkyd based paints are generally known for being very glossy, but they also tend to do better on wood and metal, which again is a nice detail considering the large outdoor usage that graffiti writers are going to want to be using this stuff for. And as we continue using these cans for an ultra quick fill-in, I'll share a cool test we did with the Hydra Cap V2 by NyQuil. And we did one massive tag with that cap. I'd have to estimate a 40-inch spray width there, probably. Now the Hydra cap there that Bombing Science sent over, they did say that NyQuil acknowledged that it does leak, and they are working on that. So you are seeing some leakage there. But basically, if you have a big enough space to do a massive tag with the Hydra cap there, you're gonna get one tag out of out of one of these cans. So be careful. So as I do the outline on this very quick 45-minute kind of piece, I am going to show you the final product from a few different angles, few different distances away, because it really highlights just how good the coverage is of that white that we used. When you're working in spots with especially a grilled background, kind of like we had there, it's extra important to have that consistency in the fill-in and, you know, true opacity. And that white really did achieve that. So I'm going to give you a good look at the final product for that reason. And then after that, we'll head over to my paint collection and I'll tell you my personal thoughts. Are the dang Master Blasters a yes or a no from me? And if you're going to want to pick them up for yourself. Well, welcome to the paint collection, everyone. I've kind of made it a tradition whenever I review a new brand of spray paint, or not necessarily new, but new to me. When I'm adding it to the collection, I kind of give you my final thoughts. Should you be trying this out? Should you not? That kind of thing. And, you know, because I've had an even worse week than usual, you guys get my extra frank thoughts on the dang Master Blasters here. So, the goal of the reviews on the channel, or our review series that we do on the channel, is always just to provide you guys with an honest review of whatever we're reviewing, whether it be mops, spray paints, whether it be sponsored or not. And luckily, Bombing Science makes my job pretty easy in that regard, because I rarely have anything negative to say about their products, and they seem to be really passionate about making great graffiti products for people. So what are my final thoughts on this? You do have to keep in mind, this paint is for making large calligraphic script tags fast. So it's not for everyone. You do have to know what you're buying this paint for, and you do have to be in the right market for this paint. If you're simply a piecer, you probably don't have much use for this. Quite honestly, it's not something you would typically use in the fashion that we used it in, for a piece to fill it in, but it does work for it. But if you are in the market for some blaster cans, I can't think of a reason why you shouldn't pick up the dang Master Blasters. If you're looking at the flame booster cans, which I mentioned, these are 500 milliliters. At the time of recording, they're about $8 US. Dang Master Blasters, you get 50% more spray paint in the dang Master Blasters. Not 33% more, 50% more. I know you guys know your ratios. And the Master Blasters here are only $2 more. So you're getting 50% more spray paint for 25% more price. It's just better value, right? If you did want to compare these to, say, the Mad Max cans that are also 750 mils, Mad Max cans have a few more colors, I believe, but they're upwards of $12. So really, this is just better value for money than any of the other blaster cans out there. So my final say on these, if you're in the market for some blaster cans, there's no reason you shouldn't want to try these out. And that is my final word on them as I add them to the collection here. If you did want to see the full review and tagging test of the flame booster cans that I've been mentioning so much in this video, you can check that video out on screen right now. I shared a secret in that video about how you can use male spray cans on the male valve system blaster cans like such. So you can check that video out if you want to know how to do that. I hope to see you over there. Till then, peace.